Greetings, greetings, greetings. In case you haven't heard, I am your Queen Love Bug #1. Welcome to my village, where everyone gets taken care of and no one gets left behind. As usual, today we will have our own mighty topic. Mary Jane TV Creations, thank you for coming in. And thank you. I'm so humble. Thank you for the compliment. It's time to get down to the meat and potato of why our people are still struggling and suffering. It's time for them to stop playing with that smut. Stop playing with people's money. People are holding on for dear life. And we're going to talk about it today. And we're going to start figuring out how to organize a protest to shake people up out their seat. We got to stop letting them be comfortable with abuse. And there are so many people who haven't received one dime of stimulus money this far. There are people who was working who are no longer working, who have not received any unemployment benefits, food stamps, or anything else. Enough is going on, and people are outraged. Time to talk about it. Time to do something about it. You can't continue to keep delaying the process. We have held on long enough, and it's far time that we start to shaking people up out of their seats. Thank you for stopping by. And yes, you do need your stimulus money. I didn't even receive a stimulus package for something that was my own situation, put it that way. So I'm not whining about myself by all means. I thank the Lord for the favor and I thank Him for every blessing that comes my way. But there are so many people out there that was living from paycheck to paycheck. They were struggling when they were working. And now they're not working and they have nothing coming in. So I'm getting ready to open up this floor and we're going to talk about it. But before I start this live stream, I wanted to take a moment and just say smile. Through it all, continue to smile. Welcome to the village, Alex. So thank you for coming in. Welcome to the village, aka James 615. Thank you for coming in. I wanted to say smile through it all. Don't never let anything get you down. In my late husband's voice. He always told me, never let nothing get you down and never let nothing keep you down. And I keep his legacy alive every time I say it. And I took his advice. I don't let nothing get me down and keep me down. Because you know what, y'all, were favorable. And we have to hold on and hang on, even when it seems like everything is at its worst. So just keep smiling and keep your head up. It's going to be all right. Your internet was messing up. That's going on with everybody right now. Just smile, everybody. Just smile. Welcome to the village, everybody. Welcome to the village. I want to see you smile. Don't let nothing get you down. I keep telling you, don't let nothing get you down. Just smile. Father, come into this village right now. Touch and anoint every vessel in the sounds of my voice. Touch those that will watch this on the playback. Father, every time I come into this village, I converse with you before taking this seat. You know the things that I have lifted up to you all day long. Please send down your angels. Touch and anoint all of those that's suffering, Lord. Fix it, Lord. Make sure that everybody will be able to survive. There's no reason for people to be starving. We touch and anoint everyone out there that is going through. Father, touch them, help them, heal them. Send away, send away, send away. Make a way. Make a way out of no way. Let them release those funds so that all of your children will be taken care of in the name of Jesus. Amen, amen, and amen. I wanted to send a few shout outs out before I start this stream. I have so many people that I want to shout out, and I just can't put you all in one stream. It's just too many of you. So I decided to take a list every few days and run over it in here because I do like to give back to those that are really genuine. But I want to say this too: if your name do not get called, I'll call it another time, another day. It doesn't mean you're loved any less. But I just cannot call everybody at the same time. And if your name has already been called, it may not be called. But let's get this list out the way so we can get down to the meat and potato things up in here, up in here. I want to send a special shout out to Red Hook, Brooklyn, New York, to all my people out there in Red Hook that watch me on live stream. Shout out to y'all. Stand up, New York. Stand up, Brooklyn. I still got a lot of my Brooklyn peoples that hold me down. Thank y'all for holding me down. Thank y'all for remembering that I'm still from Brooklyn and stand up in the Carolinas because I love my Carolinas too. So to all of y'all in Red Hook, stand up. Queen Lady C, stand up. We miss you, Luke and Rebecca from Armed American Patriots, stand up. Kev Gaming XP, stand up. That's my first YouTube friend, guys. Tyrone Morgan, stand up. G Kick, stand up. God Glory Happy Kitchen, stand up. Jen Louisiana, stand up. Miss Ann Dean, stand up. CD Cuban Boy, stand up. K Money Spoken Word, stand up. Tony Skittle, stand up. My Humble Home, stand up. Mary Jane TV Creation, stand up. Jaleesa for Jesus, stand up. William Newell and Crystal Wall, stand up. Viciously Shay, stand up. AQ, stand up. Lino V Vlog, stand up. In the Kitchen with Lynn, stand up. Kimberly Lyon, stand up. SS Rose, stand up. Momly Lab Vlog, stand up. The Crumbs, stand up. Fans Vlog, stand up. Michael Carter, stand up. KPC STV, stand up. 12 Bells, stand up. Living Waters with Sister Glenda, stand up. Asthma, stand up. Cooking with Moona, stand up. Love Anna, stand up. CCTV, stand up. Shanique's Dream, stand up. Liam and Dodie's Duday, stand up. Authentic Chef, stand up. Two Tans World DMK, stand up. Knit with UK, stand up. Udu Swat Bello, stand up. Indian Mom, stand up. Retro Bass Coupon Deal, stand up. Deborah, Catch It by Faith, stand up. Jenny Juice Real, stand up. Ed's Attention to Detail, stand up. Kitty's Family Reality TV, stand up. Soul the Soul Music, stand up. E-Man 99 TV, stand up. Candy Shells and Paige Turner, stand up. JC Music Studio, stand up. Reppin' the Fitness, stand up. Clef Epic TV, stand up. Candace the Chosen One, stand up. And to all the rest of you that names has not been called, y'all stand on up too. I got a whole bunch of lists, and I will be calling some more of you as we go along. Colestic, stand up. I haven't seen you in here in a good while. Eden Channel Law, stand up. Selena Mack, stand up, representing the Red Hook. Thank you for coming in. For all of my peoples that come in, jingling, jangling boots, stand up. I needed that laugh today. Billy Rank at AOL.com. Stand up, sweetheart. And welcome to the village, everybody. Welcome, 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 everybody. Come right on up in here because we got a good topic as usual. And there are so many of you that I will be calling because I didn't get to call everybody. I didn't want to just blow the mic up that we have a topic. But maybe one day I'll just have a shout out day because I love those that come in and represent and those that leave things in the comments and do whatever they need to do to make sure the village keeps running. I appreciate you all. And my family, y'all always stand up because y'all always represent. And I'm not going to call y'all names every day because y'all know that that's just how we give it up for each other. Pam Money, thank you for coming in. And for all of you that share me out, thank you from the bottom of my heart for sharing me out. Michael Carter, my buddy, thank you for coming in, Michael Carter. Thank you for the share. I'm about to Uber. Okay, Michael, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. Thank you, Mary Jane. Okay, let's get down to the meat and potato of why we are here. Because I talk to a lot of people. Y'all know everybody like to call me just to talk, right? Because I'm a good talker. I love to talk, right? And I got cousins and friends and family. They call me all the time just to chew the fat, right? And talk about what's going on in the world. Because you know you got to keep up with the team. You got to keep up with what's going on in this world because you don't never know what's going on from day to day. Now, I'm sensitive. I don't take no mess, but I'm real sensitive when it comes to seeing people suffer. And I was even in the store one day and I saw some people kind of budgeting up the little bit of money they had to get some things that they needed. And it was at that moment that I got a little bit angry. And I said, why is they holding this money when so many people out here suffering? And they're holding on tight because they trying to just hang in there and do the right thing. And I'm here to tell y'all, all over the world, I give y'all all the utmost respect. Us all the utmost respect because we have really been very patient while they sit over there and play around with how they're going to take care of things, right? And the thing that upset me the most is how many months it has been and they only gave one $1,200 stimulus check. And then they want to negotiate giving another check, but are they going to be retroactive for all the months that there was not a check? And it don't take a rocket scientist to conduct business. So let's sit down and let's conduct business on the lowest level that we can, because it don't take rocket scientists to add and subtract. We learned that in very early ages of school, right? So now, if we are talking about the amount of money that should be given, if you gave the less of that amount, it would be more than nothing. So let's not sit here and pretend that we don't understand how to give to people where they can be able to take care of their family. Okay, we done been out here protesting, we done been out here looting for a whole lot of stuff. But I stand in the gap today. If y'all don't come up with some change real soon, y'all said give y'all till next week, it's going to be time to sit down and organize a proper protest to march on down to that government and figure it out. If y'all can't figure it out, we'll figure it out for you. And I hate to see the world in disarray and people out there looting and acting crazy. But sometimes it seems like that's the only way you get the attention of folks and they jump up and decide, okay, it's time to get the, calm here. People out here in the struggle. People have babies out here. And then you're talking about starting school up. There's bigger fish to fry. Some people don't even have the finances to send their kids to school with a decent uniform, a decent outfit. And then you want to half step and give them a little bit of school supplies and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Give them folks some money and they can go take care of their household and pick and choose who you give internet to. Some people don't even have internet. So what happens to their children? They just get stumbled and stepped all over. David Tapp, Detective David Tapp Callistic. Who is he? Because I'm not familiar with who he is and how does he play a role in what we're talking about. Now, I want to say this. As leaders of the country, who goes on vacation in the middle of a disarray? Who goes out and eat pineapples and coconuts and their country is falling apart? Where you do that at? I was looking at some footage this morning and they indicated that Joe Biden was only leading by 2% now. That's a very small margin. That's a stone throw. And I couldn't understand exactly why. So that really made me get in front of this camera with this topic. I want to say this to our people. American people, the United States of America, be mindful in who you are elected. You see what we already are going through. Be mindful. Anything got to be a step up. Anybody got to be a step up. It don't take much to be a step up over this because this country has been ran down into the ground. And yeah, I said it. It has been ran down into the ground. I have never seen this country in this much just disgrace. You know how it was a time when you put your hand over your heart and pledged to that flag? You really had a reason because America was such a beautiful place and it was the land of opportunity. It was the place to be proud of. Everybody wanted to get to America because if you got to America, you knew that was the land of milk and honey. And don't get me wrong, America still is the land of milk and honey compared to a lot of places. But come on, let's get this place together because America isn't what it used to be. I was so proud to be American. And I'm not going to say I'm not proud to be American, but I almost sure enough don't like the way this country is looking right now. And I pray with every fiber of my being that we will get someone that will put this country back into shape and get everybody back on the right track and have some love in their heart. Instead of it being a whole bunch of racism and disgrace, it'll be a whole lot more unity because it's time for us to come together. Life is so short. Tomorrow's a promise, and I say that very often. Count the people on your hands, both of them, and you might need a couple of your feet that have left us in this year alone. We're not even going to talk about before this year. So it shows us you don't know what to predict. So we have to be mindful of what we get and how we treat one another. And I'm gonna say this too. If anybody is blessed to receive a stimulus payment, please use it to benefit yourself. Please use it to put yourself in a comfortable position in case you don't get another one no time soon. Because I told y'all that the last time. And some folks didn't listen. And they are the ones that suffering the most. Go out there and get you some things that you know is gonna hold you and your family and maybe help somebody. Bless somebody. Especially if they really are in a hard place and they didn't receive anything. Let's remember, if we are blessed, we have to remember to be a blessing to other people. Because one hand washes the other and both wash the face. From Alex though, I believe Danny Glover played Detective David Tapp. Really? Holistic. Let me just say this. Because I want us to have a nice dream, and I know you like to have a nice time and you got a good sense of humor. But you may have to come back another day when we're not talking about a serious topic. Because I'm here to deliver a word right now. And I don't want to be strayed from that word being goofy and silly. And I don't mean no disrespect, but this is not a goofy, silly time frame. So if you cannot contribute something to this live stream, excuse yourself so that people who really may need to get something here can get some comfort and awareness and maybe even help with some of their healing. Welcome to the village, sweetie pie. Thank you for coming in. Welcome, sweetie. That's the thing. We have to pay attention and take this stuff serious. This is very serious. There's people out here, they can't feed their family. Whenever you driving down the street and you see somebody on the road with a sign saying, please help, the struggle is real. The struggle is real. I mean, this struggle done got real in these streets. And I admire everyone because I think we have been very patient. But at some point, somebody has to be the one to say enough is enough. Y'all on vacation. I can't stress that enough. You want a whole vacation and the country is struggling. You don't take breaks without putting something in place. It's just wrong. No matter how you look at it, it's wrong. And yes, I said it. And I stand up and say it. And I sit down and say it. It's wrong. From Alex Stone. You cannot have a unified United States when the so-called minorities are not equal represented in the process of the making of constitutional laws. Very true. And y'all have to excuse me because I still haven't gotten my glasses. My location is still not open, so I'm gonna have to find somewhere else. I was really hoping they would open up and I would be able to go get me some glasses because I actually can read, guys. But y'all know that I struggle with my vision a little bit, and I have a bad astigmatism. And sometimes when a sentence is too many sentences, everything starts scrambling. So if you notice, I may be stumbling around trying to figure it out. It's not that I can't read; it's that I can't see. Y'all pray for my vision. Y'all pray for me. I actually have on contact lenses, but the prescription is expiring in them. And I guess it's time for me to get some new ones unless my vision is just going all the way to the left. And let me say this before I continue, guys, because I want to send another special shout out and prayer up to Malachi. God is great. I haven't seen him in here today, and I know he hasn't been feeling his best lately. So to my dear buddy Malachi, feel better. I love you, and I hope that you'll be back in here soon. And to my cousin Lisa and my cousin Toya, I miss y'all too, and I hope y'all doing all right. I know everybody have their own things going on, but I always want y'all to know I'm always thinking about y'all, and I love y'all. And I miss my sisters too. Y'all get in here so I can see y'all sometime. I miss my family sometime. And shout out to Fifi and Donnell Granny. I miss y'all too. Welcome to the village, Tyrone Morgan. Yes, it's hard out here. It's very hard. I wish they could see that everything is going up and the money is the same. That's right, sweetie pie. Hey, family at Tyrone. Shout out to Tyrone. He's a sweetheart, y'all. Y'all gotta get to know Tyrone. He's crazy cool. I'm doing just fine, Tyrone. I'm doing the best I could be doing. Don't let me say just fine. They'll really be holding that little piece of change up from folks. But that's the thing, because you holding on. We all know the game of survival, and we have to survive, right? We have to do the best we can to survive. So that's what we do. The so-called forefathers that draft the Constitution look nothing like me. The rules governing the United States are made to separate and divide the oppressed and the oppressors. It's time to put that up because he just hit the nail on the head. Prayers for Malachi. Hey, sweetie pie, how you doing? From Tyrone. Shout out to Candy Shells. Yes, we love Candy Shells. And Candy Shells, I don't know where you at, but we love you here. And we always think about you too. I did shout her out myself earlier too, sweetie pie. But thank you for shouting her out. Candy Shells, we miss you. And we miss you too, Paige Turner. We miss y'all. Okay. Now, I want to talk about the unemployment money because I was looking at some footage on unemployment money as well. Yes, I research stuff. I don't just run in here and be talking about saying. And they were debating about how much money should be given. Give them anything at this point because we don't have to be rocket science. It's not rocket science. The people who are getting a substantial amount of unemployment bring theirs down to the 200 a week. The people who are not receiving that much in unemployment benefit, give them 300 or leave it at the 4. It's not rocket science, people. It's not. I promise you it's not. It's not rocket science. Those that's getting maybe enough more than they should, it's okay to say, well, okay, they're getting a decent amount. Just give them the 200 a week. That's $800, excuse me. a month extra. So that will keep them comfortable. But now some people are not receiving that much benefit in unemployment. So for those that's only receiving a small amount, bring theirs up to the 3 or 400. Leave theirs where they can still survive. It's not rocket science, people. And keep all of this stuff in place until you can get control of the pandemic. This is not rocket science. It should come every month, every week, however they want to pay it out. Just give them all the money at one time. Give them the $800 or however many they're going to get. If you mess it up, that's your problem. But just give everybody a certain amount of money to survive. If you're going to give the $2,000 a month, the $1,200 a month, just make sure you're giving it every month. You can't give people $1,200 and stop giving it to them and expect them to still survive. That's not how it goes. You always got to keep building. Yes, we love Paige Turner. The government doesn't care if you make it or not, as long as they continue to become the stay rich and they have nothing to worry about. You better know it. And let me say this real fast. What they want us to do is start robbing and stealing and killing each other. And we cancel out whoever the COVID don't cancel out, they'll go by default. They're getting rid of some folks. The process of elimination is really going down. Y'all better stay woke and pay attention. Pay attention to what's going on around you. If you don't die one way, you're going to starve to death. And if you don't starve to death, you're going to start killing somebody who got what you need. You're going to start taking from the ones that has a little bit more than you. Then you're going to start packing them in the jailhouse. And that's a whole nother COVID situation. Mercy at Theo, welcome to the village. Please, can you help me? I need $5,000 because I hold a baby from home to my parents' home. This trip has caused pain around my kidney. I need money to buy a car. Hold on, Mercy. The pain is to force people to get out there and take what they want and need. Yes, that's the plan. Sorry, the plan. You have a great channel, sweetie pie. Thank you, Tyrone. Let me say this, Mercy, because I want to be as kind as I can. Right now, everyone is going through a very trying time. I will not suggest to anyone that they got to come up with $5,000 for anyone right now. But what I will say is if anyone, if it's laid on their heart to help Mercy, and you're out there and you are comfortable enough financially to be a blessing to Mercy, please help Mercy. Mercy, would you like to leave some contact information in the stream where you can be reached or something like that? You're welcome to do so. I don't really know what your situation is, and walking into a live stream, I haven't had time to research to figure out what's going on in order for me to really try to tally up the troops. You have to send some kind of proof so that I know someone is not being scammed, because we have had people come on here scamming and trying to take whatever someone else has. And right now, nobody has nothing to be being scammed out of. So I really don't too much ask for money on behalf of anyone's situation. But if it's someone that's out there that would love to be a blessing and feel her in your spirit, then hopefully she'll put up some information. And I pray that you will get everything you need if you genuinely need it in the name of Jesus. Well, whatever you need, be blessed your way. Pay Mercy no mind. Mercy is an internet scam. Oh, that's real. Oh my Lord, I tell y'all too much for me. Y'all too much for me. Well, put it like this. Prayers to Mercy. Yes, everybody pray for Mercy, just in case she's not a scam artist. I really don't know her. I don't even recall seeing her in this stream before. And not that I remember every single person that come into the stream, but I do try to remember the regulars that come here. And those are the ones you hear me shouting out because they're in my comments, they're in my live stream and things of that nature. So I give more attention to those that actually support the village. So mercy, may God have mercy. If you really are in need, I pray, Lord, that blessings will come her way to help and assist her in the name of Jesus. But let's get back down to the meat and potato of things, because this is just an example of what is going on in the world. People are really having some struggles. And mercy may or may not be, but people out here all over the universe is asking for trouble, money and food, and some of our youths out here are barely taking care of their children, and not just youth people. And I try to help people the best I can, but I'm one vessel. Let's be real. Who has $5,000 to give away at a time when everyone except the rich are in dire need of money? Amen. Well, if y'all rich, if somebody is blessed financially out there that want to help Mercy, I guess you can check her out on her channel because she didn't leave any information in the chat. And I'm going to say this. When a person put a dollar sign on what they need and then they don't put no information up to where they can be reached, that's kind of strange. Where do you think we're going to send the money? Just throw it up in the air? It has to be somewhere where this money is being sent to. And if you are really genuine, you might want to have your situation together when you're asking for the money. You know, say, hey, this is my situation. This is the amount of money my goal is. And can y'all help me? I can be reached at this location. You don't even have a location to be reached at. And I'm not saying it to be mean. I'm just saying when you do things, you have to do it right. Because then you do start raising flags and people looking the dollar sign behind the 5,000. I know I'm a type of fool, but when it comes down to asking for some money, I'm a proofread that thing, right? I want you to know I'm genuine and I'm coming with a pure heart. But I'm gonna tell you something else, sweetie. They're still helping people on what's the name of that network? GoFundMe. I don't know if you're familiar with GoFundMe, but GoFundMe may be something that you want to kind of look into because I think you might get a little bit more results on GoFundMe. Because most people out here on this side here, they're trying to rob Peter to pay Paul. They holding on to their life. So blessed wishes with you in your journey. From Sweetie Pie, I know that everyone is going through and I just want to be able to make it, not rob Peter to pay Paul. Amen. But we might still be doing that, some of us, right? But we're going to ask God to give some mega blessings, move some miracles. Let something supernatural take place in Jesus' name. At most, you didn't even bother to say her. See, y'all always get me in trouble because y'all know I'm going to laugh. Y'all know certain things I'm going to laugh. So why do y'all say it? But I got to put this up. At Mercy, you didn't even bother to say hello. You simply came in begging. You never even visit the channel to let people get to know you. You just come in a room begging from the gate. Go sit down. Oh, Lord. I keep on telling y'all, we can't make this stuff up. Between Alex Doe and Rico the Brat, Talisha Creation, and Kicking It with Lynn, this village is crazy. Hello, dear buddy, and hello, village. Hey, Malachi! Welcome to the village, Malachi. We love you. We was praying for you too, Malachi. I'm so glad to see you here. See, when those prayers come up, blessings come down. I'm so glad to see Malachi. Welcome to the village. Okay, See, I'm gonna tell y'all something else. Do y'all notice the distractions from the devil? We in here trying to find a blessing, and then hear somebody come, right? And Alex though is so much like me. He say the things that I don't say sometimes. I'm trying to be a little bit nicer these days, right? But he's so correct when he say, "How you just come straight out the gate begging? You ain't said hello, greetings, peace, whatever you say to say hi, just straight in. Hey, can you give me $5,000?" So we got to learn how to do something in proper order too. I keep on telling y'all, there is a proper order out there, and we have to learn how to do it the right way, guys. So let's get back down to trying to get this money together. Okay, we're trying to get some money. Everybody can use some. They saying that next week. They keep saying next week, next month, on and on and on, right? But we haven't seen that one dime yet. So we're going to give them to next week to figure it out. But if y'all don't figure out some money next week, we're going to help y'all figure it out. Because then it's going to be time for us to start figuring it out. What do we need to do as Americans? And I'm not just talking about if you were born in the United States of America. If you are a United States citizen, you are part of the doggone situation. And we're going to get it figured out because everybody should be able to survive. This is crazy. You got some places that's already put something in place for people to survive. And they get it every month. How hard is it? You can get up there and campaign. You can figure out what to say to get a vote. You can go look in somebody's backyard and find out some trash on them that you can dig up to talk about to try to make sure you get one vote more than they do, right? So if you take that same energy and use it to benefit the people that's in your country. And I want to say something to Alex, though, because he said something else that makes a lot of sense. There's so many people who didn't get a check. They said they couldn't find these people. They didn't know where they were, so on and so forth. But they sending money all out to people that's dead, people that's incarcerated, so on and so forth. Okay, I'm not here to complain about some money somebody might have got that they shouldn't have got. Hey, sometimes you got to get in where you fit in, right? But now this is the issue. They find that place to send them bills, right? How many people have missed one bill being sent to their house? I know I haven't. Every month, like clockwork. I don't care what's going on. Them bills is in that mailbox. So how about y'all send that money when y'all sending them bills, right? Alex told you right. Send the money when you sending them bills. Send it right on there. When I go in that mailbox and peek in and I see them bills, that check be sitting right on in there with it. Or that bank account. Oh, we didn't know where they was living at. Everybody, when they want to find you, they find you, right? When they want to lock your butt up, they know where to come and get you from. They ain't got to have no long, drawn out situation. They figure it out, right? And in 24 hours, they at your door. Do something if you want to. I'm just trying to keep it 100. I'll tell you what. I bet Mercy is gone. You, so you figure it out. Oh, child. I'm waiting until next week to eat or feed your family. Right, try waiting until next week to eat or feed your family. And there's people that's really out here struggling. The struggle is real. When you go in them supermarkets, you don't see people who don't get food stamps shopping cart fall to the ground. Them shopping carts look like they got just enough to make it till they can get to another dollar. And you remember how I used to go in the store and there used to be a whole bunch of Roman noodles? Them things be wiped out. That's when you know the struggle is real out here in these streets. Yes, they do. Yes, yes. Then when family are out there trying to find a way to survive, they criminalize them. The need to survive outweighs the law of the corrupt. unjust government. Stand in some more truth. I don't promote violence. I try to be nonviolent. If I could come in peace and figure it out, that's the way I would like to come. But when I'm looking at people starving, I got to pray hard because then I had to say, God, come on now. People starving. And you said that yours would not starve. They would not perish. They will not be the beggars. They will be the lenders and not the borrowers. So I know that there's a whole lot that's out there that's going through. And we're keeping the faith and we're holding on by wing and a prayer. But at the same time, what about those who have nothing? They go in their house every day suffering. It's in North Carolina averaging 90 something degrees every single day. If you don't have air, we're not talking about no fan. Because as hot as it is, even with central air, you might still need to put on a fan during the day. So what about those who don't have lights because they can't afford it? Or those who don't have a fan or air conditioning and they gotta just suffer. Those who don't have a home, those that's living in the street. Now people struggling so bad they may not even have it to give you a dollar. So now those that's living in the street may be committing crimes where they was not normally the type of person to do that. But now the struggle done got so real, if they see you walking by with a sandwich, they might knock you side your head for it. And let's just say sandwich. Some folks can't even keep their cell phone on. I went to call a couple of people and their cell phone is on. So the struggle is real in these streets. Let's not be blindsided and sit up here and act like, oh, we living so high on the horn. Because most wasn't living high on the horn before this started, right? Let's call a spade a spade. And we're not just talking about struggling for food. What about those who don't even have mouthwash, toothpaste, soap, basic things to take care of your hygiene? A bottle of water to stay hydrated. I drink water all day, every day. A hot cup of tea. Lefton sent me a bill and I can't tell them, well, I'm waiting for the government. I pay it. That's right, any bill. In some places, the utilities have said, well, don't turn off nobody's services right now. But y'all know how that's going to go down, too. You'll wake up one day and they'll be saying, everybody who's back on their nights and gas better come up with something or they will be sitting in the dark or don't have nothing to cook on. Because you know, you don't get too many warnings when they do that kind of stuff. By 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you'll be sitting in the dark. So don't just be sitting there running up the bills. You know, there's always going to be a consequence for everything. They're not going to let you just sit around and keep having services for nothing. Who's paying for it? Let's stay woke. Pay attention. It's going to be civil. It's going to be civil unrest in the United States because people will go to live. Wait, excuse me. People will go to live is going to push them to do the unthinkable. People will to live. Okay, I said it. People will to live is going to push them to do the unthinkable. The government is on standby, just waiting for it to happen. True, from Sweetie Pie. Yes, I agree. Amen, amen. And see, that's the thing. They don't know what to do, but then when you start going crazy, then they want to try to figure it out. That don't make sense to me. I always thought that if you work for the government, you were highly intelligent. You were able to sit down and come up with a plan. And if it take you 5 months, 6 months to come up with a plan or longer, you're not fit for the job. You're not fit for the job. How long do it take you to budget something? You're not fit for the job. Right there, you're not competent. You're showing you're not competent. It don't take 5 months to figure that out. Do you know what all you can build in 5 months? Look how fast they got them tents up in that park when the COVID first came out. They had, and where did they come from? They got that park lined up with hundreds and hundreds of tents in an overnight process, right? They've got meat trucks full of people, overnight process, right? Come on now. It don't take no month to figure out, okay, what we working with. How many people we got? What's the budget we're going to need to cover these people? If you don't know how to add it up, get on your calculator. This is about how many people we have. This is how much money we're going to need to kind of get them through the month. So let's multiply that by the people, and that'll give you the exact amount of money we need to give these people. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. Help me help you. Make it make sense. Come on, it's not rocket science. They teach you that in school, right? In public school. If Bobby got 5 apples and he gave away 3 and he cut one in half, how many do Robbie have left? If Robbie got 10 people at the party and everybody needs a cupcake and the cupcakes are 10 cents each, how much money do we need to give everybody a cupcake for him to purchase them? This is not rocket science. They teach you that in elementary school. You don't have to be smarter than a 5th grader. The government is amazed that people are not already out there acting up. They really trying to figure out how are people still surviving with very little or nothing. That's the truth. Because I'm trying to figure it out. And people have survived a long time, and that's why I think my spirit is so heavy and want help, because there's so many people out here that's suffering. They're just suffering. And they're suffering silently. But because they're suffering silently, it doesn't make it right. It's not right, guys. I feel that they don't want to do nothing for the U.S. I don't even think it's for the U.S. only, but we're speaking about the U.S. because we are residents of the U.S. But this is going on all over the world. This is an international situation. And the U.S. might be a little bit more fortunate than some places. Let's call a spade a spade. But it still don't mean for you to sit here and not take care of your doggone country. There's too much time done went by now. And I'm not going to sit over here and make excuses for folks, because we have made enough excuses. The rich don't have the financial hardship that the poor have. So so the poor have. So therefore, they need to look at problems in the low and no income communities, but they don't have a reason to, because they don't care. That's why they don't care. They do not care. But it's heartbreaking, even when you go see the people giving out the food boxes and there's not enough to go around. And then the people that don't get is just standing there like, what about me? What about my family? They just don't get. There's nothing to give you. So where do they go? And the ones who's getting the boxes, there's no need of looking at them thinking they're going to crack that box and give somebody anything, because they're not. They're not giving up nothing out that box, because they got to hurry home and figure it out how they're going to make it work in their household. And if somebody do give you something, it might make their household a little bit tighter. But I promise you, it's not going to be too many that are generous enough to say, well, you know what, you didn't get a box here, take this out of my box. They running with that box, hoping nobody don't ask them to give you something out. And to all the people that are donating so that other people can have, God bless you. From the bottom of my heart, God bless you. To those of us that's out here trying to help people in our communities that may be less fortunate, even if it's nothing but water, beach, mask, glove, something to help somebody, a loaf of bread, whatever it is, something that would help anybody. I don't care what it is, anything, pizza, blanket. You don't have to be filthy rich. You don't have to be filthy rich. And if you're getting some food stamps and you know somebody that's really just hungry, get them a little bit of groceries. It don't have to be the most, but something that they can have something. because the struggle is really real. It's really real. The United States won't help its own citizens, but they are happening. But they are happening all over the world, and the United States is sending aid to them. That shows you they don't care. It's the truth. It's the truth. And it's heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking. Y'all know how sensitive I am when it comes to helping people. And it is so heartbreaking when you see people trying. And I've told y'all I was proud because there's so many people out here who don't have nothing. And they are really standing in faith right now that everything is going to work out for them. And they're doing the right thing. They're not committing crimes. They're not looting. They're not taking from no one else. They're just holding on in faith that everything is going to work out. And I keep praying because I said, God, please just give everybody a reason to believe in you. Show them who you are, Lord. Move a miracle, God. Because people are losing their faith. There's so many people that start to look at it and say, well, where is God? Where is God? And I've been hearing that a lot lately. And Lord, just show them who you are. Move a miracle. Let your blessings come down. Rain them in the name of Jesus. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Help, Jesus, help. And I've just been asking them to just step in and intercede and help. And all of us that are interceders and warriors in prayer, keep praying and keep on interceding. Don't you dare stop. Don't dare give up. Stand in faith. Everything is going to be okay. It's just really rough. It is really, really rough. People can't even afford to keep their life insurance or health insurance. And not everybody have health insurance. You would think during a pandemic they would say, well, give everybody health insurance, even people who never was able to afford it. Give them some health insurance so that they can be able to survive. If you get sick, you can't even go get yourself checked out unless it's, affiliated with this. We got to continue to pray for the world and pray that these so-called leaders can get things right for all people. Exactly. Stand in faith, says Sweetie Pie. That's the word. If they cut off public assistance, food stamps, SSI, local income housing vouchers for all other programs of assistance, there's going to be lots of bloodshed in the name of survival. And some of them is saying about moving to prayer. I spoke to a few people, they didn't even get stamps. They've been trying to get stamps since they lost their job. And they talking about, oh, everybody getting stamps. Everybody not getting no stamps. And sometimes you're getting just a little bit too much income. They're not about to give you nothing. You better pray that that little income you get gets you through and make it get you through. Welcome to the village for hours trifling. Hello, how are you? What is the topic? I am a little late. We're talking about the stimulus package. When are we going to get a new stimulus package? And how much are they going to give? And whether or not they'll give retroactive money funding when they do the stimulus package. You haven't given people money in all these months. Do you really think you're going to stuff up one payment for a nickel and a dime and think that's going to take people out of a struggle? You have to give retroactive and you have to keep it on going. There shouldn't be a break in between the funding. Every single month, that money should be like clockwork. The bills is like clockwork. Like Brody said, they don't miss a month of them. You're going to get them. Send that money to that same place, right? And then I was reading where they said, well, some states will get before other states. even as far as the unemployment and different things. That's just crazy to me, and it seems so unfair when some people are able to be blessed and other people are not. And there's so many people that are really out here going through. I can't say that enough. I really can't. Drive around your state and see how many people you see out there that's really struggling. People outside some stores asking for food and stuff. But we're not talking about in low income communities. We talk about in the high income communities. Communities that you never saw that in. I was just about to say it shouldn't be a break because the bills keep on coming. We don't get a break. We still have to pay a late charge. If they are late, and you got that right, and that should be suspended. How dare you charge a late charge and people barely get the nickel of a dime? And for those that do have an income coming in, just do the best you can to make out. There was a time when you didn't have to live with nobody. You go on to get your own. But now you might have to say, well, hey, Julie, you struggling and I'm struggling. Let's move in together and try to make it work. Being independent might not be the answer round about now. We might have to help one another. Hey, going back to grammar school. If Paul had one bean and Judy had two, and they needed to get three, what you think they need to do with those beans? Pour them together, right? It's not rocket science, people. They run about opening up gyms and schools to further spread the virus. Even major store chains are closing, but they're rich already. Yes, trifling from 25. That's true. And then that's another thing that upset me. And we're going to have a whole nother live stream about that. And Miss Moody will be on here talking about it. When you're putting our children's lives at risk to go to school. Now, am I pro-education? Yes. Yes, I do believe in education, and I do believe that everyone should be educated, especially our children. But I want to ask y'all something else. Let's go back to grammar school. See, 'cause this stuff ain't rocket science. I keep telling y'all, it's not hard to figure out. Would you rather be smart in a casket, or would you rather be so-so in alive? Which one would you rather be? Smart and dead, or struggling a little bit until we can figure it out for alive? This stuff not rocket science. I keep telling y'all this. It's not. We're going to put our babies in jeopardy because most of these children are not going to sit in a classroom with no mask on all day. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I can't even sit still all day with no mask on. I have to come home a lot of times because I done had it and I get to whining and acting crazy because I'm just it's hot. I'm hot. I got this mask on. I'm ready to go home because I'm ready to take mask off and get comfortable. So imagine you got a bunch of children in a classroom. You know somebody is hard-headed. Come on now. You know there's always a couple of them kids in that classroom that's hard-headed. They're not going to do right if you pay them. Until you know kids see other kids doing stuff and they start doing it too, right? It's just children. That's what they do. They follow each other, right? So we can't even stone children because they're doing what children do. They start touching each other and stuff. They don't have no hand sanitizer. How long is that going to last? Some go use the bathroom. They don't wash their hands. They come on out. They just sitting out there spreading that germs all over the place. And let's not act like all these teachers is the cleanest either. Okay. Okay. I'm be nice. Have you ever looked at some of them teachers' fingernails? Okay. Let's leave that right there. Let's try. Now the kids got to come home, and now you got to worry about if they dragging something back to the house from the school. It's bad enough that some parents that still has to go to work, especially when you're working around sick people and things of that nature. You got to keep praying your way in and out of your home that you're not bringing it in and infecting your whole household. And now everybody in your household is sick. And now it's harder to get rid of when everybody is sick. I felt that now is not the time to be opening up. Not now. You're right. Right now, you're right. You know, this stuff does not take rocket science to figure out. But they don't care. They rather you get sick, you leave here. That's less people they got to worry about. Flu season with COVID-19 is going to be another pandemic in itself, and the government act like they don't see it coming. Come on now, we all know the flu season comes every year, starting in September. Oh, I know what you meant, COVID-19. And you know what? That's a whole nother subject too. People can't even afford flu medication. And I'm gonna tell y'all now, guys, if you got a dollar store near you and they got some Thermoflu and colon flu and all of those medicines that hold you, you better load up on it now before it starts. Just like I told y'all when that pandemic first started. And I said, y'all better get out there and get y'all some water and bleach and food because it's gonna come fast. It's not a matter of when it's gonna come. I mean, if it's gonna come, it's when because it's coming and it's coming fast, right? So the same thing. Keep jump started. If you see that something is going on, get your hind part out there and start getting you some stuff ahead of the game before the shelves be empty. Because when people start getting real sick, they're going to start loading up on stuff, and you're going to go to try to get that stuff, and it's not going to be there. And bleach and all of that kind of stuff. Don't you let it get low in your house because you don't know what's going to happen. And we got this young lady, and she have a channel, and I love her channel. Her name is Retro Base Coupon Deals. And she's always showing sales in different situations where you can go get you something for something. And shout out to Retro Base um, Coupon Deals because she does a whole lot to help people. And I love to see people that care enough to say, well, hey, y'all, this is what they got. I saw this over here. Go get your little bit. Your kids at home. They might need a little bit of snacks. Go around there to the Dollar General. They got a sale. Go around here to CVS. They have a sale on some things, even down to things to help you with your personal hygiene. So this is the time to go through process of elimination also. What do we need? What do we not need? And what do we need to load up on? And if you know that you're sickly and you get sick, don't wait to get sick to be out here scrambling and scraping and you may not have no money. When you get your little piece of change, go out there and get you some of the things you're supposed to get. See, I'm sounding like an old timer now because that's what I come from. My parents always taught us you got your place to live, you better put something up in them cabinets and freeze it because you don't never know what's going to happen. And I'm not a big canned good eater these days. But guess what? I got some canned goods in there too. And I got some box food in there too. If push comes to shove and shove start pushing, I'm going to eat. And get you some of them dishwashing liquids and stuff, detergent, everything you need, kind of like load up on. Read about the Proverbs 31 woman. It'll tell you that is true from Sweetie Pie. From Alex Lowe. Who waits until things get out of control before taking preventive measures? The government remedy is to let the weak, poor, and old just simply perish. Sad but true. And let's talk about our elders. Because our elders are going through a lot. Our elders, some of them can't even get out their home to help themselves. And let's not act like all our youths are that generous when it comes to our elders. I have seen elderly people standing up, barely able to make it, and a youth will go take that seat or go through the door, won't even hold it for our elders. We're not teaching our children the way we were taught back in the days. So, value your elders. Love on them. Help them. Do for them. Bless them. They're here. They done been putting in time and work and help raising a generation of children. And then they get old and people won't even give them a glass of water. So let's do better by our elders. And let's make sure they have something. It touched my heart when the pandemic first started and Mary Jane TV Creation didn't have her own things because she was out there helping the elders that she knew get the things they needed. And see, those are the kind of people I want to surround myself with, people that's just loving and kind. And when I seen her doing that, it just made me want to cry. And it made me know that I had a friend that had a good giving heart. You have to give back sometimes. You can't always just be takers. Yes, that's really kind. The rich people believe that only they will survive, but they are gravely mistaken. The pandemic doesn't spare anyone based on financial status. You better know it. And that's why some of them got wiped out. And I'm not saying it to be mean, but it's the truth. Yes, I love my elderly. Me too. Prayers for the elderly, for Malachi and Sweetie Pie. Yes, it's so true. Let's put that up. Because I like that word. Prayers for the elderly. Some of our elders out here, they in a panic. Some people don't have family that they can say, well, stop by here and make sure I have this. And if they're anything like my mom, they're not letting nobody in their house anyway. But come on, at least call and say, well, hey, do you need something? You need me to drop by? Or whatever the case may be. If you know that some of the elders in your family may not be able to reach out and sanitize their place, maybe once a week or every other week, go by there and mop their floors and put the garbage out and make sure the can is clean. And, bring them some Lysol or some more masks or some more gloves. Any little thing that you can do to be a blessing. Because that's what it boils down to. We have to take care of one another. Everybody don't always have it. Some people didn't have it before this. I keep telling y'all that. Millionaires are building underground bunkers hoping to evade the pandemic. I think about all the people that are in nursing homes. They don't talk a whole lot about the nursing home deaths and stuff like that anymore. Well, come on, it's not rocket science. We know it's still going on. We know it's still going on. And now if you got an elder in your family and it's becoming a hardship for you to take care of them, you may not even want to send them to a nursing home because you thinking they may not make it out. Whatever little last good times they got left, hey, they might as well spend it out here trying to live the best they can until they expire. Everybody who I knew that was coming up positive, I told them, don't go to that hospital, don't rough it out at home. Don't you take your hand back to that hospital because there's no telling what was happening to them people. You see somebody, one of the nurses, who remember that nurse? I forgot her name. And she made a video telling them how people was just being treated horribly. Somebody else put the video up and people laid out all on the floor. Some was in bags, some was not. Some people had meat houses full of people. Or the truck, the U-Haul truck didn't even have an ice box. Just throw the people up in it. It's stinking all through the community. Come on now, this stuff is not something we made up. And there's no way that should be happening. When the government is going on recess and vacation, when many people are basically starving, instead of resolving the economic crisis, that tells you that they are having their own agenda. It's the truth. It's the truth. And when they have their own agenda, it don't never include nothing positive. It don't include nothing positive. One thing I could say about President Obama, he always thought about the people. And when something happened, he would get to that person or the family and try to figure out what happened and give his condolences or call in and try to give a heartfelt condolences or speech or something to let the people know there was a connection, that he have a heart, he have compassion. He's not just cold-hearted. Somebody just don't gun your child down. And instead of him saying, we need to get somebody over there and try to, show some kind of support. He talking about, what's his name? Which one is that? Oh, okay. Well, let me call them and let them know that, I care about what happened. We ain't heard a peep about the situation since. How genuine do you think that really is? There haven't been so many people that's just been being killed left and right in so long. So true, says Sweetie Pie. Yes. So we're gonna see. They keep promising. Oh, y'all hold on one more month. Oh, y'all hold on one more week. I talked to someone, they told me they got a pile of dirty clothes in their house. They didn't even have the money to go wash their clothes. You got some places that still closed down in some states, the laundromats and things of that nature. And let's be honest, ain't nobody letting nobody drag their clothes up in their house to wash laundry during the COVID-19. Even though they say sometimes it may not be contracted through washing machines and things of that nature, they don't know enough about that virus to say how it's being contracted. So people are still very skeptical and nervous, and rightfully so. There's a difference between being kind and being foolish. And if you have health issues anyway, like many of us do, you're even more concerned and frightened because you don't want to compromise yourself, especially if you have a respiratory situation already. Your breathing is already being compromised, or you have an immune situation already. Your immune is already low, and you're easy to contract things. So, with that being said, who want to be a part of a sickness that they could have evaded? I sit outside a lot. I go out and get me a little bit of air, but I don't sit out as much because people forget and they come walking right up. And sometimes when I'm sitting outside, if it's just me, I will take that mask off. I'm not going to sit up here and tell no story. I have to breathe after that. And even though I can breathe with the mask on, it's just something about me and those masks that don't be getting along too well. But I want to say to you all, before I wrap this up, is there anything that y'all want to say that has not been said? Put it in the chat. If there's any questions that have not been asked and you want to ask, put it in the chat. This would be the time to ask. And shout out to my godson, Thomas Tony. We miss you, Tony. We love you. And we can't wait for you to come back. He's busy. He got a lot going on. But he said he will come back and sing for us and be a part of our broadcast when he can. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed that he'll be here really soon. Because how many of y'all enjoyed Thomas Tony? Thomas Tony was a real treat. And to Talisha Creation, she didn't come in today. I hope you're feeling okay, cuz I'll check on you a little bit later on. I love you. Starving to death is horrendous. Some people are okay for now, but when the axe starts swinging a little deeper and cut off their resources, you will see you will see a whole lot differently. And that's the truth. I say, I understand it's the truth. I'm okay. I'm thankful. I'm okay. But I care more about those who are not. And to Fifi Green, shout out to Fifi Green. We love you, Fifi. That's my mama's girl. Yes, I love me some mama's girl. She also support the village. I didn't see her in here today. I know she works a lot. She works 2 jobs, and she's raising her sons. So shout out to Fifi Green. We love you. I just want to say this before we end this live stream. That came in this live stream today, thank you for coming. Thank you for standing up and wanting to see and hear what's going on. It's imperative that we stay up on what's happening and what's taking place, and we understand what's happening and taking place, and don't get lost in the shuffle. Because if you want to be paid some money, then you need to be a part of figuring out how we're going to get the money to you. Because once the money is figured out, then everybody's at their mailbox or their bank account looking for it. But how many people are willing to say, hey, now we done sat here and waited on this money long enough. It's time for y'all to figure this thing on out. And we got to come together and help figure it out, right? Thank you all for coming in with your words. There was so much good advice brought in here today. This was another amazing topic. Thank you all. I want to send a special shout out to my niece and nephew, Cubs Den and Blue Jean Network, because they're so instrumental, even behind the scenes. And even when you don't see them inside of this channel, they are still outside, and not just this channel, many channels, just pulling and pushing people through. And to K Money, I want to send a big hug to you and Viciously Shay, because y'all are women that's out here grinding, trying to make sure that our people are taken care of. And I'm always going to have a big heart for people that are going to put themselves on the chopping block to try to make a way for someone else. Not everyone have what it takes to come in and represent for other people. So thank y'all for, being sisters that's out here. Yes, royal queens out here grinding it out. And I want to say to Miss Nat from Red Hook, thank you, Miss Nat, for viewing. And thank you for being a part of my family online and offline. And shout out once again to my peoples in Red Hook. Y'all continue to stand up. Kratos Tomatoes. Socialism in general has a record of failure, so blatant that only an intellectual could ignore or evade it. Very true. Y'all excuse me, because when the screen is moving, sometimes I can't see as clearly and as sharp. Very true. And thank you for coming in, Kratos Tomatoes. I appreciate everyone that have a word. Let your voice be heard. Let your voice be heard, because that's the only way you're going to get some solutions, is by having a voice. A closed mouth do not get fed. I promise you it don't. And if you're fearful, you'll always be the one at the back line. Nobody is going to take care of you if you're fearful to speak up for yourself. I didn't get this far being fearful. I promise you I didn't. I didn't get this far being afraid that if I open my mouth, the axe gonna swing in my direction. Because I'm a duck, and I'm gonna pray, and I'm gonna push through. And I want you to do the same thing. And no, you don't have to get out here and act like you don't have a bit of sense, but you do have a voice and you have common sense. And you know right from wrong. That's the first thing your parents teach you is right from wrong, right? And they tell you, you know when something's not right. And when something is not right, somebody has to speak up. I was talking to someone and they said, well, where's Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton? These people getting up in age. So now it's time for some of the younger generation to step up also. And it can't be one person always standing in the gap and everybody sitting back waiting for them to make things happen. Because that person goes through also. And that person gets tired of having to always be the one pushing forward. So when you see someone pushing forward, you get behind them and you be a bridge to hold them up. You sign them petitions to say that's right. You stand out there and don't always wait for all heck to bust loose to then all of a sudden decide, oh, they looting, I'm going to go out there and loot, or they protesting, I'm going to go out there and protest. Because sometimes if you get enough people running behind it at the same time, it may push it. But everybody's sitting back like, okay, what's going to happen next? You're going to starve, that's what. Come on. This is not rocket science. If something don't happen soon, people are going to starve. And people are already starving. I read somewhere where someone didn't hear from a loved one and went to check on them when they had starved to death in their own home. It happens. And this is going to be one of our next topics. Please get out and vote. If you have never voted a day in your life, the struggle is real. Pay attention. Get out and vote. Get out and vote. Make your vote count. Because if Joe Biden is losing by 2% and he has such a big margin from the beginning, it's telling you that a lot of people are not behind Joe Biden. And I'm telling y'all, we have to get Mr. You know who extorted on him. His time is up, right? I feel like Flavor Flav, his time is up. Shout out to Flavor Flav. His time is up. And we have to make sure that we make that happen. We can't wait and assume. And I know some of us get discouraged and we get lazy, especially if it's not somebody that we particularly like. But we got to get him out. If there's any chance of survival, he got to go. He got to go. He got to go. If y'all want to survive, y'all better get your voters registration in place now. Don't wait till the last minute. Then be talking about, oh, I didn't get my stuff. Oh, I couldn't go. And if you know somebody that's elderly and they not able to go, we'll figure it out. But we got to help everybody get your registration. If you don't have a voters registration in place already, get it in place. Because we don't know how they're going to do it. But we are going to have to figure it out. Please get out and vote when the time comes. And please make your vote count. We got to get him out. There's no option. He has to go. He has to go. You know how you have that tooth in your head that's hurting and you know it have to go? There's no trying to patch it up. No, this thing hurting too bad. It got to get cleaned out. Don't be trying to put no filling in it and wrap it and tap it. No, get it out. Same thing. When something starts to pain you, something starts to make you miserable, something starts to just drop the ball, they got to go. You done failed the job. You done should have been impeached. They tried to, but you know how that went. So what else can we do? If he get 4 more years, I promise you, we will be sorry. You think we're sorry now? We're going to be even sorry. Sure. You want to survive, you best get out there and vote. It doesn't make a difference who wins, Biden or Trump. It's the same thing. One is a rattlesnake, and the other is a cobra. 2 very poisonous snakes, only concerned about their own kind. Well, I'll tell you this. I'm going to take my chances with Biden. We can't get no worse. We can't get no worse. If anybody can't see that we can't do no worse, this country is being ran out in the ground. Ugh. When we was online talking about what happened with Mother Robbie Montgomery and Tim, her son, someone had put up in the topics, I believe it was Kicking It with Lane, shout out to Lane, that he understood how to cook, but he didn't understand the business side of it. And I think with Donald Trump, he's the opposite. He understands business, but he don't understand how to run a country and how to take care of his people. So if you are not fit for the job in general, you just got to go. You got to go. There's so much racism going on. It hasn't been this much racism going on in forever. But everyone, it's time to wrap it up. I've been on here over an hour and a half. And I'll call him back. It's time for me to get on up and do something else. But always know that I have your best interest at heart. Always know if there's anything I can do to help y'all make it some kind of way, I will come in here and do my best to be of service. I will use this platform to try to help people get ahead because that's the name of the game, getting ahead. If you're not getting ahead and you're in a standstill, you're in bondage. You must move ahead. You must grow. Nothing should stay in that same spot or stagnate. So thank y'all for the support. And I love y'all so, so much. And shout out to all of you that has come in. Shout out to all of you that's on the porch. I see a lot of you on the porch that have not came in. And I want to send some love out to the porch too. Thank y'all for watching from the porch too. It doesn't matter if you don't want to come inside and you want to stay out on the porch and look, or what y'all call the bushes and look. I honor y'all for still coming and just listening to what I have to say. And I want to say this too because I was conversing with God and I had blocked a lot of people. And he told me in order for you to be forgiven, you have to forgive other people. And I am going to start unblocking some people and giving them a second chance because I do believe in second chances. And I want to say if you get a second chance, please make good of it. Because when I give someone a second chance, which they are really far and few, I want to feel like they capitalized on whatever they did wrong the first time. And if you don't feel like you can come back to the village and be able to be productive, then just don't come back and we'll keep it in that lane. Because we want this village to be productive and we want people to be comfortable and be able to get along. Thank you, Sweetie Pie, for your love. Thank you all for coming in. And to Alex, though, thank you, Brody, so much for always researching and looking into things when I don't have the time to do it. Thank you for always being that anchor that have my back online and offline. And that goes for the rest of you. You know who you are. I love y'all all, and I'll see y'all.